you for joining us for our sixth virtual Lunch and Learn discussion. I'm Kim Elmhorst, and I'm a member of the Women United Steering Committee. This month's focus is one of my passions. It's Bonnet Springs Park, and also joining us is Explorations 5 and Success by 6. I am thrilled to welcome Heidi Waldron, Carrie Falwell, and Jody Miller to share some exciting updates about our community's new park and how United Way is involved. So I'm going to introduce each of our guests first. Heidi Evans Waldron joined the founding team of Bonnet Springs Park as the Director of Development in 2019. As Director of Development for Bonnet Springs Park, Heidi brings more than 18 years of advocacy and community development with a concentration in fundraising, organizational strategy, marketing, and public relations. Heidi is a graduate of the Crummer Business School at Rollins College with Crummer Business School at Rollins College with an executive MBA and certifications in business management, executive management, and proposal writing. Prior to joining Bonnet Springs Park, Heidi served as executive director for the Florida Symphony Youth Orchestras. Heidi is an active member of the Lakeland community, including serving on the board of the Junior League and as a current member of Leadership Lakeland. Carrie Falwell is the CEO of Explorations 5 Children's Museum. She joined the Lakeland-based museum in November 2017 after 7 years at Glazer Children's Museum, where she led all efforts on public engagement, education, and partnership. While at Glazer, her programs were the inaugural State of Florida Division of Cultural Affairs Diversity and Inclusion Award. She holds a BA from Texas Tech University in flute performance, an MA from Florida State in arts administration, and a graduate certificate in infant family mental health from the University of South Florida, St. Pete. In her volunteer life, Carrie is honored to be the chair for the Lakeland Mayor's Council on the Arts for 2021. Jody Miller is the director of Success by 6 and has been with United Way of Central Florida for 15 years. She's a graduate of Bowling Green State University. She has 22 years of experience working with the state, including teaching, DCF, DOH, and the Early Learning Coalition of Okeechobee County. Jody is a proud champion for literacy. As you can see, we have three wonderfully accomplished ladies with us today. And since we have three guests, I'll let each of them present, and then we'll go ahead and take questions after that. So to kick it off, I'm going to throw it over to Heidi so she can begin first.
Hi, everybody. Thanks so much. I'm going to open up and share my screen. I'm going to share a video. If you haven't seen it before, it's really our introduction to the park. It really opens up and gives you a visualization of what we plan to accomplish here at Bonnet Springs Park. And then I'm going to show you some real-time drone footage and go over kind of where we are overall in terms of the project.
Great cities deserve great parks. A place to enrich the community through nature, culture, recreation, and education. Our goal is to provide a welcoming world to engage your five senses while encouraging exploration. The vision is to transform 168 acres of history into a revolutionary urban park, one that will enhance our community now and for generations to come. Welcome to Bonnet Springs Park, Central Florida's place of play. Discover the renewal of this historic land at the Hollis Family Welcome Center, featuring the Watson Clinic Gallery and Rada Family Playground. The 14,000 square foot center features a stylish restaurant, serving delicious local fare with seating for 80, and options to host a private dining event. Visitors will be welcomed at the Bonnet Springs Park gift shop and encouraged to visit the gallery, as it celebrates a tribute to the railroads and citrus history of Florida, old and new. morning jogs, afternoon bike rides, or even an evening stroll by the lagoon, venture along the Lakeland Regional Health Circulator, a 2.5-mile path made for traveling the park. Enjoy the fragrant beauty of flowering trees that envelop our Ag America Heritage Garden. The sculpted linear gardens provide a natural comfort while experiencing one of the many health classes offered in the community fitness area. Let the music move you as you experience performances from the 2-acre Great Lawn, where the Franklin Family Mountain and the Klein Family Mountain adjoin the Great Lawn to create an acoustic marvel. Amaze the senses in the new home of Explorations 5 Children's Museum, welcoming you to the future. Now with over 47,000 square feet of indoor and outdoor science and discovery, Explorations 5 Children's Museum anticipates over 118,000 guests each year. Adjacent to Explorations 5 Children's Museum, connected to the Center State Bank Plaza, the cafe offers refreshing coffee, lunch, and cocktails on our rooftop bar. Enjoy a panoramic view of the Great Lawn for private events and gatherings. The Event Center, featuring the Citizens Bank and Trust Ballroom and Maya and Wesley Beck Patio, accommodates up to 400 guests for weddings, reunions, and all of life's beautiful moments shared with friends and family. Corporate retreats, celebrations, and conventions can enjoy up to 7,000 square feet of available space, including the ballroom with the latest in lighting and digital audio and visual capabilities. Celebrate on the wedding terrace or with a state-of-the-art outdoor kitchen and cocktail terrace overlooking the beautiful Harrell Family Botanical Gardens. Sculptures by renowned local artists and fascinating flora await you in the Harrell Family Botanical Gardens. Native plants cultivated in the Harrell Family Greenhouse stimulate the senses in distinctive areas of the garden. Embrace beautiful sights, pleasing sounds, delightful touches and aromas, and of course, take a bite of edible offerings as well. Located in the Bonnet Springs Park Valley, the Nicholas and Ashley Peace Pagoda creates a space for observation and tranquility. And the Kiwanis Cares for Kids Treehouse, the 500 square foot aerial sanctuary, sponsored by the Kiwanis Clubs of Lakeland. This ultimate treehouse may just be the best kept secret of the park. Explore the incredible wildlife that calls Florida home in the GiveWell Community Foundation Nature Center. Enjoy the gorgeous Florida sunset along the Wetlands Boardwalk and paddle away the day in one of the many nautical escapes offered at the Ann and Ward Edwards Boathouse on the beautiful Blanton Family Lagoon. Earn your stripes and become a naturalist in our 50-person classrooms with aquariums, reflecting our vital waterways, or get an eagle's eye view of the world with the breathtaking Crenshaw Canopy Walk. Bonnet Springs Park has recovered one of the most impaired pieces of property and transformed it into one of the area's greatest assets. Less than an hour from Orlando and Tampa, this exciting new park is going to be a bridge to the community. Bonnet Springs Park will offer unique opportunities waiting for you to escape, engage, and explore.
So that is the first video that I'm going to share with you guys. I'm going to open up my next video, which will show you some real-time drone footage of the site. And that is the best way to get you up to date without actually having you come out on a tour. This drone footage it's raw. It's a little raw. We're still working with the drone that we have, but it does give you a really bird's eye view of what we're able to accomplish right now. We're very excited. You'll see a lot of buildings that have steel on them already. We're going vertical on several of the different sites within the property. And then you'll also see how the gardens have flourished and the landscaping is coming together, as well as the lagoon. And I'll talk a little bit, I'll stop the video and talk a little bit over the video, but what we're panning over right now is the lagoon area. So what you're seeing on top of the lagoon is a little bit of duckweed, which is seasonal. By the time the lagoon is completely done, it'll be
Heidi?
Yes.
Heidi, we can't see your screen. I don't know about y'all, but I can't see your screen.
Oh, hold on. Sorry.
Okay, I'm good. I can see it.
There we go. There we
Oh,
go.
there
There
you
we go. Okay. There we go. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. So we're gonna pan over real quick. We're gonna see a bird's eye view of the lagoon. So the lagoon is a 6.5 acre site. That is where the boathouse and the classrooms will live. You can see some of the docks already in place. There's over 2,000 feet of boardwalk that was installed that circles around through the lagoon area and into the wetlands. So the green on the top of the lagoon is duckweed. So that is only seasonal. By the time we're completely done with the lagoon, it'll be crystal clear water. So this is panning out over, should bring us, as you can see, the circulator, the Lakeland Regional Circulator is the black pathway that's being paved. That is the 20 feet wide circulator that will take you all throughout the park. You can see there's a lot of raw construction going on, but there's also pathways coming into play on this video. And this is taking you over, we'll pan out onto the Hollis Family Welcome Center right over there. They just put the roof up. So that shows the first layer of the roof going on. Very exciting. We're panning over Ag America Heritage Gardens as well. And that's a really great shot of the back of the Hollis Family Welcome Center going into the Ag America Heritage Gardens. You can see some concrete pathways that are going up the mountains right now. So all of our pathways are ADA compliant. So that's really extremely important for us. And we're coming over Explorations 5 Children's Museum, very exciting. As you can see, a lot of work being done on that site as well. We have anywhere from 150 to 200 site workers all the time, every single day, coming in and out. There's trucks. It's a very active construction site right now. And that's, again, one of our mountains that we're panning over. And we're coming on to the event center within the Harrell Family Botanical Gardens. So if you're looking over into the left of your screen, you can see the event center, the structure, the external structure is coming out. The roofing will start to go on. They're doing a lot of welding at that site right now. You can also see the pathways that are going into the Harrell Family Botanical Gardens, the different gardens that'll be structured out. You can see the pathways going in there as well. A lot of those are concrete pathways. And then there's also some bridgeways. And that's kind of the overview right now of the site. There's a lot of work being done right now, very active, very exciting. And that's kind of what'll bring you up to date without us getting you out on site currently. And I will turn it back over to Carrie.
Thank you, Heidi. Well, that's very exciting, and it's hard to follow that. I can tell you that the Children's Museum will hold its own in that beautiful space. So we are more than doubling our public square foot experience. So right now, our entire building, including Family Fundamentals on the top floor and all of our storage and office space, is 22,000 square feet, and we're moving into 47,800 square feet. So quite a difference when you think about what's happening. I'm also going to share a video. It's going to walk us through, it gets a little fast, so if you need me to pause, and I can, I'm going to narrate on top of it to tell you what's going on. So there's 5 primary galleries. This will go through 4 of them. It's leaving out the Black Box Theater. You'll see the entrance, but we don't go inside of it. That is a very large room. It will be used predominantly as a traveling exhibit hall, but we'll also host, like Florida Dance Theater is going to do, an artist in residence there, and they're going to perform 20-minute short ballets. ISO will come and do chamber music for kids. We'll have, a hip hop artist come in and help kids with break dancing or digital music. So this is where we're going to do large scale performing arts of all genres and be that gateway for young children. It's also not going to go into the 2 classrooms. We have 2 very large classrooms. One is technology driven, has a large projection screen. The other one is a cooking kitchen. So we cook with kids at least once a week, and we have a whole cooking series for our homeschool students. So we do it in like microwaves and hot plates right now. So it's really exciting that we're going to have like an actual kitchen to help them teach. So I am going to share my video. I tried to preload it, but it wouldn't let me because Heidi was doing this, which is fine. Oops. 1 second. Okay, do you guys see the video?
Yes.
So we're starting in watermelon seeds. This exhibit is for children 6 and under, and it follows the life cycle of fruit, watermelon, strawberries, and sunflowers to show how children grow the same way. So you're walking in and children can pollinate the sunflowers. Below them is the fruit bed. The strawberry in the corner is where they get costumes to dress up as bees or fruit themselves. They can, that's a orange slice tractor table. We're gonna go in the costume bin there for a second. So then they pick their fruit and then they can go along this wall and wash their fruit and then put it in the delivery truck. Can't quite see in the corner. This is Climb the Vine. This is a gross motor opportunity for young kids. We really need them to start moving their bodies and understand balance and core strength early on in life. And so that's specifically for them to do those things. And then in the bottom of that top kind of canopy piece is a sensory calm down room for kids who just need a minute. Behind this yellow wall is a nursing room. This is the Fruit Bowl program area. And I paused it just for a second. This is where we'll do our 6 and under public programs. So story times, music makers, music and movement. And this is the door for family fundamentals to enter straight from the exhibit space. And I won't take Jody's thunder, but I wanted to give you some perspective that they can spill out right into this gallery. We come around here, and this is the toddler sensory grove. This is where we're really going to get them exposed to different sensory elements. That's a lake bed. Think of like a sunken water bed. Great for balance, great for self-regulation, great for soothing. And then we're going to come around to the seed pod. This is our infant learning space. So our pre-walkers, this is for crawlers. It's all enclosed. There's a little gate. And it overlooks the event lawn. So lots and lots of natural light, lots of pretty outdoor natural things for them to see. Now we're going to go here. I'll give you some perspective. This is the lobby. This is the staircase up to the 2nd floor. You buy your tickets over here on the right of your screen. We're going to swing through. That blue paint on the back wall is the entrance to the Black Box Theater that I talked about in the beginning. This is across the hall from Watermelon Seeds. So Watermelon Seeds the entrance would be behind us, if you can, or to the left, if you can see that. Those are, there we go. There's the entrance to the Black Box Theater. This is the Junior League atrium, which features an interactive art sculpture in the ceiling that kids can activate. And then we get around to Design Park. So this is really super hands-on. This is for our tinkerers and our designers. So you work at the stations around the perimeter to build whatever it is you want to build, and then you test it on that testing alley in the center. The neat thing about the testing alley is that you can test something with wheels that just moves with kinetic energy, or you can create a hover, so think like an air hockey table, and you can make something hover over it and fly, which is fun. There's some vertical wall builders for the young, probably 4 and 5, but this gallery will be developmentally appropriate for children up to age 12. That's the interactive art piece I talked about. So there's air cannons and some sound activators in it that you can do from both the 1st and 2nd floor. So this is the front yard. This is our outdoor gallery. You have to go into the museum in order to get to this gallery, but the centerpiece is really Blinky. Blinky is 100 feet long from the tip of his nose to the tip of his tail, and every inch of him is climbable. If you don't know, Polk County has one of the highest child obesity rates. So we really want kids to use their creativity as a way to fuel active engagement. So you can see there, his tail is a slide. The inside of him is full of net climbing structures. And some, again, we've got more of those sensory calm down spaces built into the inside of Blinky. His forelegs are rock climbing walls. And then each of these lily pad structures that you see are intentional. They're providing shade throughout the space. But also when you turn Kathleen in your car on Kathleen Road, it'll look like Blinky's head is floating in the water with lily pads. And it's not until you enter the museum and come into the space that you actually feel like you're underwater with Blinky. And then we're going around to the mosaic dig pit. This is where we're talking about erosion and Florida under our feet. So we will feature our fossil collection. We have about 20 different fossils that have been found in Central Florida that have been gifted to us over the years. And then kids can find replicas of those fossils in sand and just a little bit of water. Then you see these I'm gonna pause that for just a second. There are planters around the side of that gallery as well. So we will be growing food year round, seasonal fruits and vegetables mainly, so that we can talk about where food comes from. Okay, now we've gone up to the second floor. All of that was on the first floor. We're going up to the second floor now, and this is City Play. There are parts of this that get very quick, so if you want me to stop, I can. We start at the newsroom. Here, they're doing live weather forecasts, and you're actually using the outside of the actual park. So the screens will provide a weather scenario, and then we're using the actual park weather as well. When you come around, there's first responders with the fire station, Sheriff Grady Judd, our hospital, that's the J. Burns Pizza food truck. We've simulated our own park experience, which is a central location for parents and grandparents to have a place to sit if they need to. And this is the retail store. This is the Ag America Farm and the All Creatures Veterinary Clinic. There's Publix, and then the Amy and Ed Latter home. So something that we are doing a little differently, Florida Naturals Juice Factory, of course. Something we're doing a little differently in City Play, that's kind of cutting edge for children's museums, is that we're not putting the costuming in each of these areas. We really want the children to learn how to live this role in a community. So all of the costuming will be housed at the retail store that you see right when you walk in. So if you want to be a ballerina firefighter and live your life like that, then that's how you're going to go to the grocery store, you're going to go to the farmer's market, you're going to do your shift at the fire station. We really want them to understand how different parts of our community work together. And then this is TBD. This is across the hall from City Play. And this is where we're targeting kids 6 to 12 to use music and technology to engage in emotional intelligence and storytelling. So that big green piece you see is the Lunds Group green screen stage. Think like a big CGI studio. That green screen, they can put digital backdrops, they can do sound effects. It looks like a CGI studio. Behind those blue curtains is a stop motion animation station. And there's about 6 different places that kids can sit there. That's more for your introspective storytellers, kids who may not want to put themselves out there on the green screen. Some more tables for workshops and small programs. Say we wanted to bring some fabric over and have kids use those tables to make custom costumes for whatever their story or theater production is on the green screen landscape. We think that opportunity is important and they should be able to do that work in that space. The music box is showing kids how analog music works, which speaks directly to the soundproof box that is right behind it, which is the drum room. So drum and beating and the percussive sound is a really wonderful way for kids to practice emotional intelligence, but then all of the really wonderful international instruments we can use, and we can talk about rhythms, just the very beginning of what music theory would be. And so that will all happen in the drum room, but it is soundproof or somewhat soundproof, so that not everybody has to hear all of the banging, but the kids who are in it can. So like I said, we didn't really go into the black box and the classrooms, but that's the overview of 5 of the primary gallery spaces. And I can turn it over to Jody to talk about family fundamentals.
I don't have marvelous videos and graphics. You guys are awesome. I just want to give you a little background on family fundamentals. I'm guessing that probably half of you are not even familiar with family fundamentals. Carrie calls us one of the best kept secrets. So first of all, I just want to put a big thank you out to Carol Jenkins, Bonnet, and Barney for bringing Family Fundamentals to Polk County and their continued support of Family Fundamentals, Success by 6, and United Way. Family Fundamentals came about because of a vision that Carol had. She had visited a parent resource center in Wisconsin, and she and her Blue Ribbon Committee were determined to form an even better site here in Polk County. They wanted a warm, welcoming place where parents and other caregivers would receive the help and support they need to be the best first teachers to their children that they could be. The first home of Family Fundamentals was created in 2001, and we were above the Lakeland Volunteers in Medicine in the old James Cox building. Anybody go to school? You guys all look too young to have gone to school there, but a lot of the Blue Ribbon Committee members had gone to school there. And we started out with 25 partners. We currently have 37 partners. And these partners provide services that include developmental evaluations and therapy, counseling, emergency assistance, job training and placement, financial literacy, and more. The hope is that parents come in for one of these services, learn about the others, and come back for more help. And we like to brag that Family Fundamentals was the first site for Learning Resource Center's Camp Ready, which is a program for rising kindergartners. We used to call it a little boot camp, but we don't do that anymore. It is for rising kindergartners, kind of a booster. And Family Fundamentals still hosts Camp Ready, among other programs in the summer. And Camp Ready has expanded out throughout the county. And Family Fundamentals continues to support Carol's vision by providing daily programming for 3 and 4-year-olds. These are classes where the parents and caregivers stay and participate as part of the educational process. We have a master teacher who models appropriate interactions that the parents are able to witness and replicate. It's not a drop-off center. A lot of the parents would like to leave the children. We've even had some children show up on their own that we had to take back to their parents where they lived because they had such a fun time here. And the parents are an active part of the process. That's what makes us a little different from most programs that you hear of. Several years back, Heartland for Children saw the programming that we were doing, and they recognized that such programs build stronger families. So they are currently also providing resources to replicate the programs for weekly classes, not daily, but weekly, for babies, 1-year-olds, and 2-year-olds. And remember, not a drop-off, the parents do stay. And so it's a marvelous thing to see, especially with the babies, that even the parents start to bond and learn from each other also. And Heartland has also provided a visitation coordinator who is here to model and encourage appropriate child-parent interactions. And these are parents working to be reunified with their children. So the visitation coordinator really works on the bonding, because the children don't live with the parents. So we try to get them bonded so they can go back home. And I don't know if any of you, like you heard, I was with the state for years. And the typical visitation used to be you had a transporter that would pick up the child, take them to McDonald's playground. The parent sits there and looks at their phone while the child plays on the equipment. Nothing like that happens here. The parents are involved in the visit and interacting with the child. And one of our biggest rules here is, I am at Family Fundamentals. You can't tell, I'm in almost a storage closet, which is my office. There are no cell phones. We do allow phones to be used to photograph the children while they are playing or during or after a visitation, but no phone calls, no texting, no looking at Facebook, no phones. And Family Fundamentals, of course, like Success by Six in United Way, is all about literacy. So every child that attends a class or a visit receives an age-appropriate book to build their own home library. Currently, this is thanks to Florida Naturals Growers Foundation in Heartland. I'm sure we all know that the more books that are in the home, the greater chances of success a child or even a teenager has in school and life. Other initiatives of Success by Six, of course, are incorporated into Family Fundamentals. This includes Dolly Parton Imagination Library, Born Learning, the Parent Resource Guides, and we have a Parent Learning Library. And those could be a topic for another Lunch and Learn someday. Each one of those could take up 20 minutes or so, half hour. Several years ago, Family Fundamentals was invited by my good friend Carrie to move to the 3rd floor of Explorations 5 Children's Museum when the Lakeland Volunteers in Medicine building was sold. Carrie is also a visionary. This partnership, of course, was great. We have the same goals, and it has been a wonderful collaboration. Exploration 5 even invites our Family Fundamental kids to stay after the classes for free and to visit the museum. We are very proud and thankful to be co-located with Exploration 5, where we can continue to fulfill Carol's vision. And we are so thankful and truly excited to be included with Explorations 5 in the move to Bonnet Springs. But who wouldn't be? Look how fabulous it's going to be. Last week, I was talking to one of the employees, Layla, here at Family Fundamentals. I could just go and lay on the floor in the watermelon seed room and have fun for hours watching the kids play. But she said that you guys wouldn't pay me to do that. So I'll have to do it for free. We can't wait to let the families explore watermelon seeds. It's going to be so great. And to have the movement classes outside, maybe around the alligator or out in the gardens, just the possibilities are endless. So we are just so grateful. That's all I can say. And just want to thank the Jenkins Barnett family, Bonnet Springs and Exploration 5 for collaborating with United Way and Success by Six and continuing our mission for helping all children succeed in school and life.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies. This is truly such a wonderful partnership that all 3 of these organizations are putting together. And what really is touching to me is it's really a culmination of Carol and Barney's vision. And along with Carol, Barney, and the family, having Family Fundamentals and United Way be involved with the park, it's just awesome. I can't put into words how amazing that feels. I know she would be so excited and pleased at all of this coming to fruition in one spot. Also, I just wanted to make sure that you all knew that the Bonnet Springs Park Board takes very seriously wanting to reach out to the underserved communities, especially our neighbors in the areas around the park. We have had many, many discussions. It's going to be a part of our strategic plan. And we know that Explorations 5 and Family Fundamentals are going to be bringing and attracting those underserved children and their families. And that is exciting to us because that is really what we wanted to do. We wanted to transform that part of Lakeland, a part of Lakeland that's been truly cut off by no fault of their own. And if you all were looking at that drone video that Heidi was showing, when you saw the Welcome Center, you could see RP Funding Center behind it. So you could see how close we are to downtown. And when our Boston Park planners were here initially, they actually walked from Munn Park to our park. And it took them 10 to 12 minutes. So it is so close to downtown, and we're so excited about that connectivity. Okay, I'm going to stop talking. We have about 20 minutes to take questions. If you would like to ask a question, make sure you unmute yourself. If you want to put a question in the chat, Catherine will read that. So the ladies are available for any questions you might have. Renee, I see your hand.
Hi. What is the timeline for completion?
So I'll speak for Bonnet Springs Park. We're looking at roughly the first quarter of 2022.
Yeah,
But
I was with Kiwanis and was involved with the tree house, and maybe I missed it, but I didn't hear that mentioned. Is that been constructed or starting to be constructed?
The treehouse has not been started yet. We're still working on we're very active on the lagoon area. And the treehouse will be very close to the lagoon area, as well as Canopy Treetop Walk. So once those start coming into play, the treehouse will start coming up.
Yeah, I was unsure because I'm not in Kiwanis any longer, and I was unsure if the funding was complete for that. And they had projected to 2022 as well. I think trying to just give a generous time in order to complete. But thank you very much.
No problem.
And from the museum side, we are working with a professional children's museum exhibit designer and fabricator, and we can't start installing those exhibits that you just saw until after we have a certificate of occupancy. So, and that process takes about 3 months. So whenever we can move in, then we'll start installing exhibits and open 3 to 4 months after that.
I guess I'll say hi because there's like 15 and a half minutes left and no one's saying anything. But I'm getting over some laryngitis, so just bear with me, I guess. No, I'm just really excited about everything here because I feel like all of this is what I'm about when it comes to what all of you have been doing your whole lives and I'm just starting to do. Because I mean, I'm in my early 30s and I've only been in Lakeland for 6 years. And I wrote an email to United Way like about an hour ago because I didn't know if I was even allowed to be in this meeting because I'm not officially in any of these volunteer organizations that I am trying to join in the next open enrollment because my youngest is 17 months old. So I forced myself not to join anything last year because I knew it would be like, you know, bad idea. But basically everything here, like my conferral date for my bachelor's in management is in a couple days. And literacy is my charity passion.
Rachel, thank you so much for sharing your passion. That's it's really nice to see young people who have a passion and want to use their energy to do it. So you're doing great. You're not starting out. You're much further ahead than you think you are. You're doing great. And I think it's important that we don't all have to be literacy experts in order to help children with literacy. So literacy starts with language. So the best thing you can do to help a child be literate is talk to them and ask them questions and point out things around you. So it's completely free and you don't need a special program and everyone can do it. So we can all be passionate about literacy and help generations that coming up just by talking to them.
Well, obviously I'm good at talking and talking and talking, so I'll try to help.
Okay.
We're always looking for help. There's lots of places to volunteer and help. Any other questions? The one thing that I can say is that this is a privately funded 501c3, And so we are always looking for community support. And the easiest way that you can do that is to join Friends of Bonnet Springs Park. It's a $30 annual household membership right now. And that fee is not going to go up by much, even when we can offer benefits, because our goal is to make sure that everybody can be a supporter of the park in some way or another. So even though you might not have millions of dollars to give, there's ways that we can all support the park, the efforts of Explorations 5, and also Family Fundamentals. Any other questions?
Really quick,
this is your chance. Yes.
Sorry, I just wanted to say on behalf of Bonnet Springs Park, we appreciate everybody's time on this call. Our community is an amazingly philanthropic community, and we're lucky to have so many volunteers and so many people on this call heavily involved with this project already and on board. And just moving forward as one unit and one team, this project would not be where it is at currently if not for the support of all of our community partners, our donors, our collaborators, our volunteers. We have such a strong team of volunteers currently, going back to volunteerism. So Rachel, I hope that you find yourself an organization and volunteer your heart out, because that's the only way that nonprofits really, at the end of the day, survive. And it's a very exciting time in Lakeland, Florida, little old Lakeland, Florida. I was on an IAPA call this morning, all the way from Hong Kong to Orlando, and they were very excited to hear about our park. So we are spreading the word as much as we possibly can. And if anybody would like any of us, I'm sure Carrie as well, to speak to a different group that maybe has not heard about this project or is in a different part of the community or hasn't had access to us, we're more than happy. All of our contact information is in the chat. We're more than happy to reach out into that community as well and take time, do some Zoom meetings or some small in-person meetings, even coffee chats, just getting everybody up to date and up to speed on what's going on within our community so we can make a better and greater impact at the end of the day.
Yeah, I would love to be a part of a future talk, big or small. Small obviously is more productive. Of course, I feel that way. So people can be creative and, discuss these things. But I really appreciate you letting me be a part of this. I definitely feel comfortable in this zone and with these women. And I don't know, I can't keep my energy. And I'm just like, this is so exciting. It's like, I never thought that this moment will come where my house will be empty. No one will be running around throwing stuff in the background. And I can actually just have this discussion. So I've been writing down these things in the chat box as well, like the email addresses and such. But if anyone is going to have a chat that they feel I should be a part of, just I guess I'll leave my email address in the chat box if you felt like inviting me, as some other people have been leaving their email addresses. And the one question was, is read, sing, play just someone being enthusiastic, or is that the name of an organization?
That's me with Success by Six. We're always saying, talk to your children, read, sing, and play. It's as easy as that.
Okay, so I'm not going to Google it.
Just do it.
Yeah, you can Google it. There is a national program called Read, Sing. There is one. Another one is Talk to Me.
I should have invented it.
Yeah, there's a few of them. But yes, you can Google it and there's lots of resources.
Well, good thing I asked.
Kim, I have one thing. Can you hear me?
Yes, Teresa, I can. Yes.
Yes, and if you can stay on the call afterwards, I just want to mention a couple things to you. So first of all, yes, I do appreciate Barney, Carol, and the entire Jenkins family and our other community partners backing up this wonderful, wonderful Bonnet Springs Park. Being a Lakeland native all my life, I've seen many changes in the community, and I just even want to cry right now on the call. But it's just amazing how everybody comes together for the community and the other folks that don't have the opportunity, that's actually going to grow through this park. So not only am I proud to be part of Lakeland, the United Way, I have believed in giving back and volunteering my whole life, and I will continue to do so. So this is one other avenue that I want to tap into is Bonnet Springs Park. And then Carrie, I have one quick question for you. I might have missed it, but is there an area there at the Children's Museum that children will actually have a chance to work on iPads or laptops, or is there an area that they bring their own just for fun time?
So we have an extensive technology theory that runs throughout the whole space. So they're using technology, but maybe not in as literal of a sense like an actual iPad. Now that changes once you go into a classroom. So we spent 2020 really digging into how do we teach in the digital world, and what we found were our strengths. We're teaching graphic design to children as young as 4, digital composition, and using technology to teach foreign language. So we know that we're going to continue those things for sure. We know that we're going to add coding to that, some age-appropriate coding lessons. So there will absolutely be technology-based, really deep dive programs that happen in the classrooms. We had about 15 computers donated from Junior League, and then some more tablets that are just part of our capital campaign. Those you can do different things on those 2 types of technology, right? A tablet and apps have a different function than a PC, where they're 2 totally different learning environments. So yes, we will do a little bit of all of it.
Okay, and then the other thing real quick, I might have missed it. When you say the retail store, is the retail store just T-shirts, et cetera, from the Children's Museum, or is there also going to be an opportunity for the children to use their motor skills to paint, to make things, and to sell in that retail store? So for personally, I would buy something that a child would build or make.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what.
So I think that's a great question. When I said retail store, I meant a pretend play space. So that's just like the fire station or the Publix. So that's a pretend. There's varying levels of play that scientists study. The highest form of play is called social dramatic play. That's when you put on a costume, you have a role, and you act something out. If a child can achieve social dramatic play, then their brain is developed enough to learn how to read and write. So we're always going to have spaces where children are transforming themselves into a character, and they're being put in a situation to collaborate with another child to tell a story and play. So the retail store is in that space. On an actual selling goods side, we don't have a gift shop per se. We have carts that can move where the people are. So kind of like a mall kiosk, things like that. So the mall kiosk in the front yard will sell sunscreen and hats and water and things that you would need while you're out there. But we're in the process of sourcing local makers and local child makers to stock those. So for example, there's a 12-year-old girl who makes and sells delicious lemonade. She does it at the farmer's market and at little events around town. Queen Michaela's Lemonade. So we're working with her mother, who's her business manager, to have our kiosks, our store kiosks, stocked with Queen. Oh gosh, I just said it, and it just. Anyways, with her lemonade, and yes, I totally agree with that.
So children entrepreneurs, basically.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Will there be reading rooms where they actually will hold textbooks? I mean, I know Early Learning Coalition, I was with Reading Pals and really enjoyed that with the preschool kids.
Yeah.
And your mentioning of the social dramatic play, I was thinking of, possibly being involved with something like that, because Kim may know that I'm involved with drama at my church, and now I'm retired. And so if there's time, and I just wondered, I didn't know if there was a place where there would be actually maybe just a reading room.
Yes.
If the kids can be drawn to that.
Yeah. So the program area, we call it the Fruit Bowl program area in Watermelon Seeds. The nooks in that water and that orange slice on the wall is a bookshelf. So that will be filled with books.
Okay.
So Watermelon Seeds is going to have a ton of books. Each of the galleries in City Play, each of those community roles will have themed books in those spaces. So first responders will have books on firefighters and police officers and canine dogs and, you know, all of those things. So each of those areas will have books in it. There will be some books in design thinking, but that's more like instruction manuals or how-tos. And then TBD will absolutely have music, you know, famous musicians, famous authors or poets or slam poets. That would be a ton of fun. I think the only place you may not find a book is the front yard because it rains so much and waterproof books are hard to find.
Is there going to be like coordinated role play?
Oh yeah,
where there's volunteerism that could take place. Okay.
Yes, we are revamping our entire volunteer program, and we're actually making play docents. So
you're making what again? I'm sorry.
Play docents. So just like you would be a docent at an art museum,
okay,
and you would get trained on the history of the art piece, we're going to do the same on a volunteer capacity, but train you like the language that you could pull out in playing this in this area, or give you some guiding tips on how to play in this space. So very similar. So yes, my email's in the chat.
Yeah. You're already addressing occupational, and that was what I was thinking. A great theme was you're addressing it through every department of what you're doing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
And we also have sounds like you have something to do. It sounds like Renee has something to do in her retirement now.
Keep her busy. We'll keep her busy. There's also two.
There was no time before, you know, and so my brain is just, you know, it's still on overdrive.
And at the Children's Museum, there's 2 lending libraries because we have one and Family Fundamentals has one. So there's 2 opportunities to check out a free book on site now and at the place.
It looks like we have a question in the chat. Will the museum have restroom accommodations for younger children?
Yes, we will. We will also have restroom accommodations for adults with special needs whose developmental appropriateness fits that of the exhibits. So we will have a changing table that can accommodate up to 250 pounds, and we will have little people toilets for our short friends. So yeah.
One question on private events, because my daughter she's 6.5 now. So except for this year, obviously, where it was just, you know, the family, she's had every single birthday party at Explorations 5. So yay. It's always been like the science one, because who doesn't love squishing stuff and smelling things? So, but my question is about the new space. So in the video, which I did have watched before, it keeps popping up about how beautiful those gardens are and how modern, and it looks like because of the boxes the flowers are in and everything, it's going to stay maintainable for events. So I'm thinking that that's going to permanently be a place where basically I'm saying I have personal faith coming from, like, my husband does flower boxes and stuff and things like that, that it looks like that's going to be a permanent wedding space and everything. But then I started thinking about, what about the kids? Like, because if Explorations 5 is moving eventually and such, what about the birthday party abilities of these spaces? And also, if we're thinking about that, then what about the age groups?
We will still offer birthday parties, and you'll have more options. So right now you have a classroom party, or you can rent the whole museum. So now a classroom party, but we'll be able to accommodate more guests because the rooms are much bigger, and which is a big need that we have. You will still be able to rent. Yeah, you will still be able to rent the whole museum outside of our operating hours. But we're also adding an experience called Just the Cake. So where you can reserve a picnic table outside in the front yard, And it makes that birthday party experience a little bit more manageable for families on a tighter budget. So you can reserve the table to do your cake and ice cream, but maybe all of your friends are members. Or we're a museum for all sites. So anyone with an EBT card comes in the museum for $3 per person up to 5 people. So that will continue with us. So, you know, is that a better option so that we can make birthday parties accessible? But you know, if you can pay to rent the whole museum after hours, then you should have that option too. So yes, we'll still do that. We will still have wonderful themes, and you can do it inside and outside. Lots of options.
Well, that was the issue I was having that you touched on. Those rooms available are getting smaller and the kids are getting bigger. There's usually the ones that I paid for my kid and blah, blah. The parents are like around the window like this with the strollers jammed into the fridge. And
Yeah.
I call like 5 times freaking out, like, are we going to be able to get to the fridge for the cake? Can I reserve the fridge room? So that's why I was wondering if in the new building, you know, obviously there's, or if any of those spaces, like the watermelon thing for when my son gets a tiny bit older, if we were planning on allowing those for private rentals as well for birthday parties.
Yeah, so we wouldn't allow food in the new exhibits, except for the front yard. You can eat outside. We can close that off.
I understand your perspective of it.
Yeah, that would the rest of the food inside would have to stay in the classrooms or be an exhibit rental. Yeah, but I hear you. It's tight now. I know. We're fixing it.
And you're going to have a lot more space, right? Right, Carrie? You'll have a lot more space, and there's going to be a park that will have a plethora of areas also to have birthday parties as well.
And I love that they're talking about the tree house in the chat. That'll be available. Heidi, do you think you'll do birthday parties in the nature center?
Yeah,
anywhere you want, right?
We're actually exploring because we're a 501c3, we're always exploring our sources of revenue and lines of revenue. So rental will be a huge part of Bonnet Springs Park. So anywhere from a 30-person treehouse party to a 400 person wedding or corporate event. But we also have the Great Lawn, which can hold up to 4,000 to 5,000 people. And we will also have the potential to do a park buyout or building buyouts, depending on when our operating hours and things like that. So we're right now exploring all of those different opportunities. We'll have pavilions that are rentable within Ag America Heritage Gardens as well for outdoor barbecue parties. And then of course the outdoor kitchen attached to the event center is a completely different rentable area. So everything from a nature center classroom that holds up to 50. So it's everywhere in the park is definitely a rentable fun opportunity for a corporate event, wedding, bar mitzvah. We're looking at everything, every single possibility we're looking at, including and being inclusive as well.
Yeah. So all right, ladies.
Sorry, I just meant that the cake thing is available now for like a small family.
No, that's for the new place because we don't have an outdoor space now to do a picnic table.
Right.
All right, ladies, we're at 1:04, and I know that you all probably have other questions that you probably think of like at midnight tonight. So you do have the email addresses for Carrie, Heidi, and for Jody. There are different ways you can get in touch with them. You can get with Catherine, myself. Thank you, ladies, so much for sharing this exciting information about Bonnet Springs Park, about Explorations 5. Family Fundamentals. This is just going to be a game changer for our community and for Central Florida. And is that it, Catherine?
That's it. Thank you so much, Kim, for coordinating and everyone for joining us today.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.